Hello, first graders. It's so good to see you. We have a very, very special guest today. He's from the Boy Scouts, and his name is Mr. Dylan, and he's right back over there. He's got a uniform and a rocket in his hand. So he's going to come and talk to us about how to join the Boy Scouts. So let's all give a big first grade welcome to Mr. Dylan.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming out. Mrs. Doubtfire, thank you so very much. I'm going to talk to y'all for just a couple of minutes today. But Mrs. Doubtfire had told me y'all are in first grade, is that right? Yeah. First grade. Do you know what we call first graders in Cub Scouts? We call them tigers. So what I want you to do on 3 is give me your best tiger roar. 1, 2, 3, roar! Guys, it's early. I know you're tired. I'm tired too. Y'all can all do better than that. On 3, 1, 2, 3, roar! That was awesome. So I'm going to say a lot of fun stuff very quickly. Now, I don't want you getting out of your seats. I don't want you running around. If I say something that sounds super fun, I want you to do this. Everyone, stick your hand in the air. Everyone, stick your hand in the air. Now, if I say something that sounds really, really fun, I want you to do this. 1, 2. Everyone, do it for me. 1, 2. Come on, everybody. 1, 2, 1, 2. If I say something that sounds so fun, makes you want to jump out of your chair, I don't want you to do that. But I want you to shake your arms in the air. Crazy. Do it for me. Everyone, shake your arms in the air. Crazy, 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 crazy. All right. Who would like to go camping? Who would like to go fishing? Okay, I see I don't have each and every one of you. Raise your hand if you like chocolate. Oh yeah, like everybody, right? Who likes marshmallows? Guys, you get chocolate, you get marshmallows, you have a big fire, you put them together, what do you get? S'mores! S'mores! Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. I got a couple more things for you. Who would like to shoot BB guns? Me? What about bows and arrows? What about build cars and race your friends? Does that sound pretty cool? Yeah. Well, this is my favorite thing. Who would like to build and launch their very own rocket? Ooh. Guys, we get this, we build it, we put an engine in it, and we launch it, it goes 500 feet in the air. That sounds so cool. That sounds cool, guys. Well, if that sounds fun, I need you to help me out and do me a big favor. Mrs. Doubtfire here, she's going to get a piece of paper, a flyer. You're going to put it in your backpack and you're going to bring it home to mom, dad, auntie, uncle, big brother, grandma, whoever takes care of you, and say, hey, this real talk I'm in Dylan. He into my class today. He said some really, really fun things that I want to join. Well, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, in your cafeteria, we're doing a sign-up night. Everyone who signs up gets a rocket. Put your hands in the air if that sounds cool, guys. Yeah. What time tomorrow? Where? In the cafeteria. What are you going to do if you sign up?
Get a rocket.
Get a rocket. What time tomorrow? Where?
Cafeteria.
What are you going to do if you sign up?
Get a rocket.
Get a rocket. All right, guys, one more time. What time tomorrow?
7.
Where?
Cafeteria.
What happens if you come out?
Get a rocket.
Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your mom, dad, bring everyone. It's going to be so much fun. One last thing before I go. I want everyone to clap for me. Clap for me. Clap for me. A little bit faster. A little bit faster. 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 You were great. You all were fantastic. I hope to see each and every one of you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye.
What makes a foundational and fundamental skilled scout talk? So let's just kind of throw some things out. Know that John has his ears work faster than his hands. So just if you guys want to throw something out, talk. What'd you see? Enthusiasm. It's a fantastic one. Yeah. Probably the number one, right? Okay, what else did you guys see? Confidence. Yeah. Engagement. I like that. Really interactive, right? He didn't just sit up there and talk about scouting. He actually engaged with the kiddos. What else did we see? Animated. He was animated. Yeah. You could be enthusiastic and stand still. Dylan didn't do that. And he got you guys involved to be animated as well. What else did he do?
Props.
Props. All right, I like that one. What were some props that you saw?
Rocket.
Saw a rocket. Him. Right? Right, that's true. Was he wearing a prop?
Yes.
Yeah, scout uniform. Don't show up to do scout talk if you're wearing your jeans and the whatever t-shirt. Absolutely. Can you bring other props? What are maybe some other props you can bring to a scout talk? Power derby cars. If you're doing a lunch talk, you might have a tent set up on the stage with a backpack in it or something. I mean, there's some other things that you guys can do. We didn't talk about this, you didn't really demo this, but what time should you get there?
7 o'clock.
Early. I'm sorry, what time should you get there to do the scout talk? Be early is what I'm kind of trying to probe at here. The last thing we want to do is have the principal thinking that we're going to be there at 10 and we show up at 10:30 or 10:40. It really just burns relationships. There are think that scout talk was?
3 minutes.
That's 3 to 5 minutes. I'd say he was probably in the 4-minute range, 3 to 4 minute range. So is it long? Is it drawn out? No. We get into that rhythm sometime. We do the same thing with sign up nights where we end up droning on and on and on. Dylan was high energy, 3 to 4 minutes, he's out the door. He's either on to the next specials class or he's on to the next class for the classroom. So very short. I always talk about being friendly. I know that enthusiasm and confidence, but Scout oath and law was 4, 5, and 6. Friendly, courteous, and kind, right? What did Dylan do at the very end? He thanked the administrator, right? He had the kids thank the teacher. That's way better than Dylan saying thank you, is having those kiddos say thank you. Saw a hand back there.
Repetition of 3.
Nicely done, sir. Yeah, so he repeated 3 times. What did he repeat 3 times? What time are we doing? What time's the sign up? Time? It's at 7 o'clock. Where are we doing it? In the cafeteria location. And then what are you going to get? Right. There you go. So repeat the important information 3 times. Now, one thing that I think is really, really important in this is Dylan used some very intentional language when he said, who is going to bring you along? Did you guys notice what he said when he said, who can bring you to the sign up?
Caretaker and whoever takes care of you.
Mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, whoever takes care of you. We've got a lot of kiddos out there that may not live with their mom or may not live with their dad. And if you say, bring your dad, have your dad bring you to join Scouts, or have your mom bring you to join Scouts, you're going to exclude kids unintentionally. So, very intentionally including everybody that could be a family, and he uses that last sentence to be entirely encompassing. Whoever takes care of you. So I think that's a really, 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 and parents, this is a good word for us adults. Kiddos might not know what the word guardian means. So whoever takes care of you, that's really inclusive language that makes sure that those kiddos feel good about that. So, all right. Any other pieces of the puzzle that you think we missed here? Feedback from them? Yeah, make sure he's engaging and getting that feedback from them. Yeah, absolutely. So if I can give you guys 3 tricks of the trade in this, what I really, really think is important for y'all, all of this, but do a couple of things. Make sure, number 1, you have your carrot. Don't go to a scout talk unless you got the rocket, right? That's what the kiddos get when they sign up. That's the carrot, right? Next thing is, I am not somebody that is really, really good at remembering everything I need to say. So most of the time, if you see me talking, if you guys have been coming to these membership meetings for a long time, you'll either see me with a little note card in front of me, or right now I'm looking at my phone. Guess what that's got on it? All of the sessions that I've done this before, it's got some of my best practice notes on it, so I can make sure that I'm getting everything out, to make sure that all the content is coming out. So have your carrot, right? Bring your rocket. Have your notes. Make sure you got all the things that you want to hit. You can do it on a small little half sheet, but keep it in front of you. No one is paying attention to that half sheet, I promise you. And the last thing is just acting it out. Make sure that you guys are animated, enthusiastic, all the notes that we put up there, but you can do some things like Dylan did where you're a tiger. He didn't just ask you to roar like a tiger, he asked you to roar like a tiger. If you saw Dylan, what did he do when he raced cars? He raced cars, right? He didn't just ask you to go race a car. When I do a bow and arrow demonstration, I'm asking kiddos if they want to shoot a bow and arrow. I'm shooting a bow and arrow, right? If I'm telling kids they get to go fishing, I'm going fishing. I'm going to try to catch boat right now, right? Oh, I got it. There he is, coming back in. So act it out. That's what really helps you guys get that engagement and that momentum with the kiddos, where they're going to feel comfortable, they're going to feel excited, they're going to feel engaged. So I don't know if we've got a ton more that we want to talk about this. John, did you have any questions or comments or additions on this as well?
These are professionals.
He's the professional right there.
Excellent. No, I don't think that's good. Excellent. Yep.
Fantastic.
We'll publish these and give them out to you. Oh, does he? Yeah.
I would refrain from taking questions because
yes, great bullet point right there. Write that one up there with big letters. I think I heard Marisol trying to throw somebody off in the background there. I don't know. Was that you?
I was trying.
Okay.
Nobody else joined me in being a 6-year-old.
That's something that you're gonna get no matter what you do. You're gonna get a kiddo that says, like, oh, I shoot bows and arrows all the time with my dad. Don't stop and be like, oh, that's cool. Isn't it fun? Don't do that. Just keep going, right? If you get distracted, that distraction is going to break down the whole system. Dylan, the reason it sounds so smooth is he's done it hundreds of times. Probably last year, you did it probably 100 times, right? I mean, you did a ton of scouts. So that's why it's so smooth, is because you've done it over and over and over again. Some of the tools that we use, we actually film ourselves. I don't know if all of you guys know this, but I've filmed myself doing a scout talk so I can see what I look like, so I can polish out some of those sillinesses that I naturally have as a person. So that's a tool that you can do. You can, yes sir, go ahead.
I do with my kids.
There you go.
Yeah. You might get them excited about scouting.
If you can get them excited about scouting, that's good. The big challenges that we all talk about a lot of the times is how we're going to recruit volunteers, right? And I will tell you, this is not unique to the Boy Scouts of America. This is unique to most volunteer organizations that are dealing with volunteers that are in the 30s and 40s age bracket. They're just not volunteering at the same level as previous generations have. And so what I will tell you is you can get people my age to volunteer. It's possible, but you're going to have to pull extra hard on some heartstrings. And so you guys probably, a lot of you guys out there have tools that you've used. Let's share those tools. But I want to show you one of those tools tonight. Some of you guys may have seen it. I'm probably not going to do this perfect because it's probably been 5 years since I've done it, but I'm going to give it a go. It's a very effective tool to pull on heartstrings of parents. I'm going to do that, and then the last thing I want to share with you is never be afraid to ask somebody to volunteer with their kid. All right? I like to tell people, if I have to guilt you in to spending time with your kid, you'll thank me in a month. And I mean that. If you have that conversation to recruit Jonathan to be a leader so he can be there with his daughter while she spends time in Scout, a month from now he's going to come back and say, thank you so much. I didn't realize I was missing this much valuable time with my kid. All right? So we're going to try the tape. I'm going to give you that side. And Jonathan, you mind coming up over here holding this one? There you go. All right. This does take the knowledge of somebody with a receipt machine.
All right.
So you have to know somebody. All right? All right, cool. So we've got a receipt tape. And as you can see, there's the numbers 1 through 100 on this receipt tape. So parents, we're going to pretend like we're at a parent meeting, okay? So parents, if we are lucky enough to see a long, long life, we're going to hope that we get to live to be 100 years old. So I'm going to ask you to put yourself in the shoes of your kids, where they're going to get to live to be 100 years old. All right? That's really, really exciting. But let's talk reality. Right now, your kid is 7, right? So we've already missed a couple of years, and we're sitting here, they're 7, 8 years old. We're sitting here right now talking about where we are today. All right? Now, sorry, parents, but you're not going to live as long as your kiddos. So the reality is, by the time they are in their mid-50s, maybe their 60s, it might not be a part of their life anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and rip that off there. Sorry for that reality, everybody, but here we go. So John, you mind coming in over here? Thank you so much. All right, so we're running it out of here. So let's be honest, they're going to probably have their kids sometime. Right now, I think the average age is in the mid-30s for parents to have kids, so we'll go here to like 34 right here. So we're going to go out to that because, quite frankly, by the time they have kids, they might not have time for you anymore, parents. And let's be really, really honest, they're going to go off to college here at about 18, so they're definitely not going to have time for you while they're in college and when they're out there with their first job. The scarier part about all this is statistics show that if you're not involved in your kid's life by the time that they're 11 years old, they don't want you. And chances are, somebody else is. So this is what I'm asking of you guys tonight. Take the time to be the person that's involved in your kid's life. Because this is all you got. There you go. Thank you guys. Questions? Everybody's sounding quiet. That's not what I want. But it's impactful, right? That's the point of my kids. What's that? There you go. There you go. Sorry to make everybody so sad. Sorry about that, Rachel. Useful tool, though, right? It's something that you can use. Again, if I have to guilt you into spending time with your kid, you'll thank me in a month. I say that over and over and over again because you don't want to be on the other side of that 11. A lot of that goes away really quick.
I know we've been focusing in on the PAC recruitment and young parents and all that. But what you said earlier is something that we say, if you want to have somebody to work on the district, and maybe older folks, but the same concept is if you ask somebody to do good in the community, you're asking somebody to volunteer to have an opportunity to do some good in the community. Don't feel bad about giving them that opportunity. Don't feel ashamed or afraid of making that ask. That's a good ask, giving them an opportunity to do right in the community to help make a better world.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any questions about any of the content that we talked about tonight? Cool. Do we feel like we're a little bit better equipped to get out there and to make some things happen?
Yes.
Awesome. I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate each and every one of you, all my professional teams, vitamin C, lots of coffee. We're going to be out. We're going to be hustling. All the volunteers that are in here, thank you guys. It was people like you that showed up at my school and recruited me when I was 7 years old. So without you guys, none of this happens. So thank you guys so much for that. So John, I'm going to turn it over to you for closing us up.
Well, I appreciate it. I don't know if I shared the story with you all the other day. I had a recent experience involved with Eagle Scouts. I sat in on a board review for an Eagle Scout, and we went through the questions and how you do it. And one of the things I asked him is, "What do you plan on doing in scouting? How do you see yourself involved in scouting? You're Eagle Scout, 5 years, 10 years, whatever." And he didn't blink. He immediately answered back and said, "I'm going to be a Cub Master. I'm going to be a Cub Master." Right away. And I thought, well, that's great. And we moved on, and he passed his board. He became an Eagle Scout. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, I attended his Court of Honor. And he's an interesting guy. So he didn't tell his mom that he was going to ask. His mom would come up during the ceremony and speak. So his mom came up and had to speak off the cuff. Didn't have any prepared statement. And so she just started talking about how he got involved with scouting. And she went back to how he was asked. And so we went back to at school. Somebody came in with a full uniform and got the kids animated. And he had a campaign hat on, and he had his socks with red on it, the old-fashioned socks. And he was out there, and the kid gravitated to this adult and told his mom, "I want to be in that pack, and I want to do that." And that guy was the Cub Master of the pack. And when the Cub Master moved with his sons to a troop, he followed along and went to that same troop. Well, it was during that story that I made the connection that why that scout told me he wanted to be a Cub Master. Because he was stuck from day one that person who made the pitch to him at school was a Cub Master, and he was following his Cub Master around the whole time. He wanted to be just like him. And so you never know where the next Cub Master is going to be. And when you're out there talking to them, you don't know what kind of impact you can have on their lives. You make the ask, they could be the next Eagle Scout, be the next Cub Master, Scoutmaster, Distinguished Eagle, President of the United States, who knows? But it is a lot of things that you can do to make their lives better.